Welcome to the AW Services YouTube channel, and today's video is on pyrotechnics and fireworks firing systems. If you're wanting to get into pyrotechnics, whether that be stage pyrotechnics or fireworks, even consumer fireworks, this video may be of interest to you. With the laws that are changing all the time, DIY consumer fireworks are becoming more regulated, and the way that you purchase them will get stricter and stricter as time goes on. But there is still availability to buy firing systems. Many people now are using firing systems in their gardens on a DIY consumer level because it is safer, because you're further away from the fireworks. You haven't got to physically light it by hand, and you can do it remotely from the comfort of your deck chair with a beer in hand. But also, if you're working in the fireworks trade, you're getting into working with a firing company to get your firer's log, to maybe then one day to go on to your own startup business as a pyrotechnician or fireworks display operator, you may want to invest in firing systems. So this video is on the basics and the startup units you can buy. Also consumer fireworks, maybe stage battlefield pyrotechnics. You may be part of a LARP community where you do a lot of living reenactments, World War II, various films, or kind of storylines where you may require the use of pyrotechnics in a controlled manner. But firing systems as a whole are basically a box that runs on batteries, and that then connects to your firing igniters, which you then locate into your fireworks or your pyrotechnic effects, which come pre-wired, and you wire them into a firing system. This firing system here is a lot of stuff's Chinese nowadays. The quality is extremely good, but I'll show you something in a minute which is a lot better. So this here, I'm filming with a GoPro because it's the closest camera that I had to hand, so it isn't going to focus on anything. But this is made by a very well-known company called Happiness Fireworks in China. A lot of these systems you can buy online through eBay. Amazon sells some. You can also buy single Q and 4Q firing systems that you can pair together and run a few to get 12 Qs. This here is a 12Q semi-automated firing system. So this box in the rear contains two 9-volt PP3 batteries to create an 18-volt firing current. That then connects into the system, and then you've got your speaker plug connectors on the rear, which your igniters go into. So you can put 12 or more igniters into this if you're wanting to run more igniters per Q. And what this does, once you turn it on, you can run this manually with your hand, or you can use the remote control that's supplied with this. You have got all Q fire, which will, when selected, will press and fire every single effect at the same time. Or you can have step mode, where you can press the button and each Q will fire one after another per press of the button. This is a wireless remote control, so it's 433 megahertz, an extremely good range on this, a couple hundred meters line of sight easily. And you can interlink these into countless or numerous units, so you can then go from 12 Qs up to 24 Qs. I use these to set off a chain of mock grenade hits in the ground. I had 24 Qs wired into these systems. These boxes were hidden in a box that was buried in a hole. I was still able to get radio contact with the remote control, and when each person threw a dummy grenade on the ground, it blew up. So these are a 12Q, very affordable, you know, about 60-70 pounds here in the UK. You can get smaller systems that are 4Qs. They're about 24 pounds, and they're very good for single effects. But you've got a remote control, one remote control. I haven't worked out yet if you can actually link two units to one remote control. but you can link these together also by wire, and then you can use these for various effects like crossover effects. If you were doing a fireworks display and you wanted to set off fan slices or single shots, you could do that and you could create a crossover effect in the sky. But I've got one remote control per unit, and that gives me 24 cues. But these are very good. The boxes I purchased separately. They're good quality boxes actually, and these came from Temu, but they fit the unit perfectly. I've cut the foam to conceal them so they're safe to use, and it protects them. If you're wanting something a bit more high-tech, but it hasn't got wireless capabilities, but you can link this unit I'm about to show you into one of these, and it will give you all sorts of effects. So this here, made in the UK. I say that with caution because they're actually made, the components and the way that they're assembled and the parts that they use may come from the rest of the UK, but made in the UK is a marginalised assessment of the quality. They are phenomenal. However, the company that makes these, Easy Pyro Limited, are based up in Scotland, and it's an extremely well made piece of technology that has worked flawlessly for years. I've got quite a few of these, and I've also got the wireless RX18s, which are very good. But these are made by Easy Pyro Limited in the UK. The black Seahorse heavy duty carry case isn't standard. This is a custom model that I had made. They actually come in a yellow Seahorse case, which I'll show you now. So if you buy one of these off the shelf, you'll get it, and it'll come in one of these yellow boxes. But I wanted something that was a bit more low profile, not so easy to see. Paid a little bit extra, and Andrew put it into a black case for me. But this is an Easy Pyro Rhino Fire Step 13. So this is a 13 cue firing system. It's built into its case, so you can't take it out of the box. So what we have on the front of the case, we have 2 rows of 6 very high quality terminal speaker connectors. We then have these pyro clip connectors, which one says run and then the other says 13. So you can wire 12 cues into that and set them off, or you can get another one of these modules and more modules after that and link them all together by a piece of 2 bell wire or shooting wire, and then you can have these on various shooting sites and fire them wirelessly using a wireless controller or a single cue distributed remote control single firing cue box linked into that, and then you give this wireless capabilities. So you've got the 2 pyro clips, so you've got run, so your trigger input pulse from your firing system, or a 9-volt battery to those connectors will give you your firing trigger cue. You can also fire them manually by pressing the run button, and then you can go through the sequences. You've got your charger socket, your main power on and off socket, and then you've got your screen. So this is a very intelligent system. There's a lot packed into it. So I turn it on. It goes through its self-test, and then it will default to the last used program. So the programs on this, you've got step fire, you've got sweep, setup, equal time mode, different time mode, clock mode, and back to step. You can set the trigger pulse so that it fires for slightly longer if you're using Talon igniters, or if you're using standard igniters, you know, like these. You can then just have it so they fire. So you've got 12 cues, or you can fire 13 in total. If you're not going to link this unit to another one, you can fire 13 cues. So what happens here in step mode, once it's in step mode and you press arm, every time a trigger input pulse is sent to the run terminals, it will fire. So every time you press the button, it will fire. So if you hook to arm it, and then once it's armed, it will actually make a beep sound, and it will show you continuity on the screen when every cue is connected. You can turn the beep off if you want to, and also when it's fired, you'll see a bright red LED on the box. So if you're quite a distance away, you can actually see that this is armed. And then every time you press the button, by holding, I'm firing it manually, so I'm pressing the arm button and the run button, and it will fire through a cue, and those are denoted on the screen by crosses to show you that those cues have been fired. But these are extremely reliable. They can be dropped off the side of a mountain and they'll still work. If you're interested to see more in the Easy Pyro equipment, I'll put a link to the description in the video so you can look at Easy Pyro's website. If you've got any questions on this box, contact Andrew and he'll be more than happy to answer. There are plenty of videos on YouTube. These are a complete workhorse. They've been around for quite some time and they still work. But this is a brilliant system. If you buy more than one of these, you can link them all together, and this is how you get some of the brilliant crossover effects with fireworks displays. But also these are very good for pyrotechnics or battlefield pyrotechnics, if you wanted to simulate bullet hits, etc., or explosions going off with smoke devices going off. Then you've got flash devices like a pyro flash system from the Matra. You can link that into here as well if you wish to do so. But this is a quick video on wireless firing systems and manual wired firing systems. But if you like the video, subscribe, support the channel, help it grow. Press the bell icon for notifications when new videos are published. Give it a like, give it a share, and leave a comment. But thanks for watching AW Services.